Today is Wednesday. I started a new hobby, but I don't know if it's actually a hobby or if it's just something to help me relax. It's definitely been good for my spirit. I started planting. I'm starting a garden. It's the first time I've done that. I'm putting holes in these pots. It has been very therapeutic. I guess that's the word for it. I'm hoping you can hear me because there's a lot of traffic. It's early morning. It's like a little bit after 6. I like to come out here early in the morning because I don't do well with heat. And we've already started getting up in like the 80s. So yeah. I guess now for about 3 weeks I have been planting seedlings. But in case my seedlings don't really take good, I've also brought a couple of plants, vegetables, so that I can have hopefully a few things grow. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. So far, so good. This is not it. I need a little drill that I can just drill. Yeah, but I don't have that. So I am just using like a little screwdriver and punching a hole in the bottom. It's worked so far. I don't want a lot of water to seep out just because these are in pots. At some point, I'm probably going to move them to the ground. I thought I would do container gardening, but my husband actually hired someone to make us some garden boxes. And so at some point, as they get larger, we're going to transfer that. So yeah, really. I'm sure my husband has one. Because, gosh, this pot is really giving me a hard time. Punching through it. And I know there's an easier way. So anyway, that's what I've been busy doing. So I come out here early in the morning while it's still fairly cool for now. As the summer gets closer, even in the early morning, it's not going to be so cool. But it'll still be better than, say, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because where our porch is, it's like the front of the house is where we get our most sun, and our backyard gets the least amount of sun. And from research I've done, because I've done a lot of research, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, definitely do not have a green thumb, so I need all the help I can get. I know that my vegetables need sun. I bought a couple of roses. I know that they need sun. I have a couple of flowers. It's not impatiens, it's petunias. So I bought a couple of petunias. I've got some hanging up. I've got some sitting on the porch. I've got some more that I got yesterday. We went to like I said, return something to the store. And so we picked up a couple of more plants. I picked up what did I pick up? I picked up what was this? Zucchini squash. Because I love zucchini. Yellow squash, and then I picked up one more tomato plant. I have one tomato plant. I'll show you those in a minute. And I picked up this super sweet cherry tomatoes, and then I have rumble tomatoes. I don't know if you guys know, my favorite food to cook is Italian food, and so thought the Roma tomatoes would be my best bet for like salads. At some point I may get like just a regular, like big, I don't know what the word is. One of those big tomato plants. But I don't want to overdo it because, again, don't have a clue what I'm doing. And so I don't want to have too much that I can't handle. I'm not trying to have a farm. After today, I'm going to have to ask him. Because, oh, you know what? He has a drill, but I guarantee that I know where his drill is, but I guarantee it needs to be charged. Oh, hurt my hand. And then, I don't know if you can see on the table, I have a little ivy plant, and my mom went to IKEA. I have an ivy plant. My mom went to IKEA, and they had a Mickey Mouse planter. So she bought that for me. And what else do I have? We've been dealing with poison ivy on our front porch. So yesterday I sprayed that. It's not dying as fast as I would like because I really don't want to spray once I put my roses down in the ground. And I'm still kind of deciding where I'm going to put my roses. I can't make up my mind. I keep moving them around a little bit so that they can, I can see how they look where I'm planting it. My hostas are doing okay, but you know, as soon as that sun starts beating down on the regular, they're going to lose their color because we didn't realize when we planted them that they aren't supposed to be in full sun, and they definitely get in full sun. But they come back every year, and they're pretty in the beginning of spring, but by summertime, they look yellow and dried out. So next year we're hoping to move them around to the side of the house. And oh gosh. Yeah, I need a screwdriver. Well, I'm lucky screwdriver so I can put holes in this thing. I've been dealing with birds. Nesting, trying to nest up in my, we have blinds up on the front porch so that when it gets too hot, and they have been trying to nest here all weekend, and I keep taking down the nest because I want them to be discouraged and go somewhere else and nest instead of up here, because I'm worried that once they establish a nest and they hatch eggs, that they'll be attacking us while we're sitting on the porch because the mama will be concerned that we're trying to get to her babies. So I don't want that. I don't know, somebody will probably tell me that's the wrong thing to do, but I don't need the birds up here. A couple of times already they've swarmed around my head, and I do not like that. So I'm hoping that they'll give up and nest somewhere else. That has worked for me in the past, where they just finally just say, okay, clearly this is not a good place for us to make our nest, and we'll move on. So that's what I'm doing. I am going to get to planting these. I had like a whole list. Where's my journal? I started a garden journal, and what I do is while I'm gardening, I listen to some worship music and listen, and then I stop for a little while and I read a devotional because I really needed to incorporate more quiet time and devotional time, and I figured the best time to do that would be first thing in the morning when I'm out here and you hear the birds chirping. It's very peaceful. We have been really busy. We just finished with Easter, and my birthday was in April, and I have vlogs coming out about that. You guys know I'm way behind on my schedule, so you'll probably see that in a couple of months. Marcus is doing a lot better. For those who have been like asking and praying for him, he's doing a lot better. He is now at 50% as far as how his foot is healing, and so he has a little bit more mobility than he did before. He's still not driving, which is driving him crazy, but they said that his foot is finally healing. He's had 2 bouts in the hospital since September. And this last one, they went in and they found an infection, and so they had to go in and get rid of that, give him more antibiotics, and that he was in the hospital for like 10 days. And nurses come and change his bandages on the regular, and they've noticed a marked improvement, which we are so happy about. Yeah, that's what we've been up to. This past weekend, I went to see my family in the country. And I was there because they asked me to be an MC for their breast cancer awareness tea that they hold every year. It's a fundraiser. And so I went for just the day, and my daughter took me, and then I came back, and then we had church on Sunday. And so, yeah, that's what I've been kind of up to. But mostly, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time out in nature, which is not me at all. But I have been enjoying it. I told my therapist that I felt like it was something that really like helps with my anxiety. It calms me down. It's something that I didn't think that I would enjoy, but I'm actually enjoying. And so, yeah, I get out here every morning, and I have like a to-do list in my journal, and I try to check off the things that's on there before my day gets started, and then I can come out and just kind of sit and enjoy the beauty. So I can't wait to see how it grows. It's very small right now. I've been watching a lot of garden videos, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of work, but it looks so pretty. And so I would love to like do that on a smaller scale and get somewhere. So we'll see. So I'm gonna let you see me next few minutes doing a couple of stuff, and I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope that you're finding some peace in the world of chaos, and I just hope that you have a blessed week whenever you see this video. Okay, I am planting my vegetable plants, and I did a couple different mixtures of soil because I'm kind of running out of my Miracle-Gro soil. So I mixed it with some other soils, put those at the bottom. I'm going to put, this is why you have an apron. So I had seen a video where they put the pot down in and then put the dirt around it, so that then when you take it out of the pot, it already has a nesting spot. That seemed to work with my other plants, so I'm going to do it this time as well. And hopefully soon I'll have it. There's those birds. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get these to the point where I'm going to put them in the actual ground in a flower box, in a planter box. But if that doesn't happen soon, they'll just be in a container, and I'll get some sticks to make holes because I know I really want the cucumbers and the peppers, especially the tomatoes too. I kind of want all of them like to grow up rather than grow out, spread out on the ground, because I think I can manage that a little bit better. As you can see, I'm sitting because I have a really bad back and knees, and I sure picked the time to start gardening. But that is what I'm doing. And this is the yellow squash I'm putting in here. And if you guys are gardeners, tell me, there's not a whole lot of root in here, but I've seen people say squish the roots at the bottom when you take it out of the cup. I've seen people say leave it like it is because you can damage the roots, and I didn't see a lot of root in that one, so I think I'm going to leave it like it is. This is trial and error. I'm learning. So that's one. I will be the first to say I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I'm enjoying the process. So if I get vegetables out of it, even more the better. So put the plant down inside, put the dirt around it. The next thing I'm going to be planting is I bought some seedlings for herbs, and then I went to the, sorry about that guys, I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some little stackable plant pots, and we're going to see how that goes. I do have a few seedlings. My marigolds are starting to show up, but I didn't realize how long it takes for pepper plants to start showing seedlings. And I think I read like weeks. So my pepper plants are, I think I finally saw a couple of pepper plants like show up. And I think I showed you guys that those were pepper plants. I have some more tomato plants just to see if they'll grow. But I really want to do a herb garden, and I didn't want it to like take up a lot of space. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do them in the Dollar Tree stackables. I cannot afford the original ones that people talk about. They are extremely expensive, and being that I don't know how this is going to go as a new hobby, I don't want to spend a ton of money. All of these pots I got from Dollar Tree, and they seem to be working for me just fine. So one thing I would say to someone who wants to start a garden, if you don't have a lot of land, get a couple of containers. And that was first off. I did, when we came home, when we brought the plants home from the garden center, I did go ahead and water them that evening. I try to do my watering first thing in the morning, or later in the evening after the sun is not as hot, because I read somewhere, YouTube too is your best friend when it comes to, I found so many different places to get information. One of the nurses that comes to change Mark's wound bandages, like she is into gardening, and we've been talking. Comparing notes. So when we're done, I know I have to give them a good watering so that the We'll have a good start. All right, one more to go. Not too bad, not too bad. I do know with this tomato plant that I'm gonna have to like take a couple of the bottom pieces off. I did order some nice clippers and pruning shears because you can get some stuff at the Dollar Tree and they're not that expensive, but you're also not getting the best quality. And I knew that I was going to need pruning shears and snippers for the long term, and so I did invest a little bit more in that. Gardening is not cheap, guys. This trowel came from the Dollar Tree, but it's a good sturdy one, and so I'm confident this will last me a good little while. But I bought some pruning shears from the Dollar Tree, and it broke on the first day, so I was like, okay, that's my cue to make sure that I invest in a better tool. I also invested in a knee pad that is, what's the word, better suited for my back and my knees. I'll show you a picture of that here. Actually, right now I'm using it like a stand while I'm sitting to put the plant on, so it's higher up, so I can sit and I'm not standing, because I have to go do some mulch around the tree here in a little bit, and if I'm not careful, I am going to make it where I'm not going to be able to come back out here and work in the garden. So I think the best idea was to kind of mix those different dirts, because I'm almost out of this Miracle-Gro, and I really want the plant to be surrounded by the Miracle-Gro. And I'm waiting for some plant food and fertilizer to come. I'm still like learning, and I know that a lot of people prefer the organic fertilizer, and maybe next year, if this goes well, I will try that, because that is a little bit more expensive. I know a lot of people use like cow manure, compost. I would like to create like a little small compost, so that I can like put scraps and things in, but I don't want to attract any bugs, additional bugs, or like animals, because even though I live in suburbia, where I live is kind of like country, and we have foxes, we have rabbits, we have squirrels. One time my husband the car got hit by a deer on like a main highway, not even a highway, on the main road outside of our home's neighborhood. So I do know we have wildlife here. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about the deer necessarily, just because I don't really see a lot of deer here. And where my mom lives, you definitely see some deer. I've woken up in the morning and seen deer outside the window, but I don't think I have to worry about that here. But I do think that I'm being real like particular about what I invest in long term. So I think one thing that I'm going to invest in, I had seen there's like this noise, so it's like a noise machine, but it feeds from the sun, and I know there's a word for it, I just can't think of it right now. Anyway, if you put it out in your garden in different areas, it'll help to kind of keep the pest control down, as far as like squirrels getting your stuff or rabbits eating your things. And then there are things you can plant around your plants, so that's why I'm really looking forward to getting the garden boxes in place, so that I can put my plants down in the ground, and then I'm planting some marigolds, and I think I'm going to do some basil, and once I get it to seed, things like that to put around to kind of protect. But I think also I might do like the noise machine, so it emits a noise that the animals don't like to keep them away from your garden. And I've seen a couple of reviews on it, and people say that it does work, so I'm going to try that. Before I plant this tomato, I learned from watching videos that I need to cut some of these bottom stems off so that more of the nutrients will go up, and it'll help me produce more tomatoes. And because this is the cherry tomato, I really want it to produce a lot, so I don't want the nutrients to be going down to these little tiny leaves that haven't branched off, so I'm going to cut some of them off. I may even cut these bottom ones right here just to promote it to go up some more. And like I said, I think I'm going to do all of these on a vine. I am not an expert. I do not have a clue what I'm doing. I'm experimenting, and we'll see where it goes. And so far, like some of my plants, I have to show you like the procession, because I'm going to have to show you how they have advanced since I planted them after we got them. So everything is planted. I got to water it. I have to put mulch around the tree. Forgot what else is on my list. Oh, and then I've got to start my seedlings for my herbs in their pots. And I think that is all on my to-do list today. And we'll see how far we get. One thing I'm doing is I'm giving myself grace. I give myself a certain time to spend out here in the morning. And I do know Mark has a physical therapy appointment, and he has a nurse coming in today. So I want to be finished before they come, because there's some things in the house I need to do. But if I don't get everything done on my checklist in the morning, if it cools off in the evening, I'll come out and do some things in the evening. But if not, I transfer it to the next day, and I do it the next day. Like, I think I had something on my list yesterday I didn't get around to because we had an appointment, and I just put it on the list for today. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing. I have these plants on my step down here until I can plant them somewhere else. And they're getting sun. It rained a couple of days, so I did let them get a little bit of rain, but I didn't want them to like get too much rain to a point where they were going to be too soggy. Because that's one thing I'm learning, is you don't want it to be too soggy, because then you can have mold and mildew. We do not want that. I want healthy plants. And like I said, when my fertilizer comes, then I am going to start fertilizing them to help with their growth. And yeah, so if you're a gardener, if you have any tips, especially for someone who's just beginning to start out, I'm kind of slowly learning like the things that I have some things on the wish list. I have told my family, if you want to get me something for Mother's Day, you can get me something garden related. So my husband did get me this knee stand. No, I actually bought this myself. He brought me something he brought me, you can't see it fully, but he brought me a little barrel. A little wagon that I can wag around. A little wagon that I can roll around to carry things in, so that, again, thinking of ways that I don't hurt my back. So after I put this down in the ground, after I plant this and I water them, I'm going to show you just a little bit of what I have in the garden. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but I'm proud of the little bit that we have going on. I still have to water my petunias, and I have to deadhead some of them. So that's next on my list after I do this. So So the one thing I'm learning is about these are my petunias, and they said you don't want them to have the seeds to snip underneath to promote growth. That's what I'm hearing, and I'm hoping that I'm doing it in the right spot. We shall see. But that's supposed to help promote growth. So now I have to water them. I need to water my ivy. So I'm going to get some water for that. I'm going to water the plants that I just potted. Sorry, you can't see me. Water the plants I just potted. I've got another petunia. I've got 2 petunias just sitting on my porch. I need to deadhead that. And then next on my list is seedlings. I have one other set of petunias in yellow. I'm doing like pinks, whites, purples, yellows, and greens. I don't know that I'm going to incorporate red this year. I think I want to keep it kind of muted for now and see how that goes. But I brought a big pot of petunias that I'm going to separate and put in different places. I may even put those in the ground. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to decide. And then, because that's a way that you can make your budget for your plants go a little further, is get like a big pot. Like the petunias, I got like a, I think it was 6 in a container. And I separated those and put them in different pots. So I ended up, out of those 6, I got 1, 2, 4 containers. And so with I'll show you a picture of the yellow ones that I just bought. I'm gonna separate those. I just gotta decide what container I'm gonna put them in. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get some more containers. Houston, we may have a problem. I might be just a little addicted. But I'm gonna water all of this. I'm gonna deadhead the other pot of petunias. They can have sun. So right now I'm keeping them on the porch, and I'm watching the ones that are in the hanging baskets, and I'll see how they go. Another thing that you can do with pot saving is take old pots. I had these pots from a previous plant, and I still had them around. I washed those out and put new potting soil in it. And I put these in there so I didn't have to buy hanging plants. Although I may buy 2 more hanging plants so that I can put on the other side of my porch. I've got to clean up that side of the porch. I'm not even going to show it to you. It looks terrible. But once we get that done, we've got to have some work done to our porch. And so we're waiting for someone to work on that. And once all of that's done, I feel like I'll be satisfied with my porch. I've got nice furniture on my porch that I've had for years. We've got 2 rocking chairs. We've got this table. And then we've got 3 more chairs. I have some dining chairs, and Marcus brought me some umbrellas to go with those. I have some dining tables. And I think we're going to bring them out front. Let me sit down. I'm talking to you guys now rather than just working. Okay, so I was saying, I think we're going to move our dining table and chairs around to the front of the yard, because we're really concentrating this year on the front of the yard and not the backyard. We're on a ½ acre, so we have plenty of land. But the problem is Marcus can't really get around to the back like he used to, and we try not to have him on stairs. So we have the ramp on the front of the house, but we don't have a ramp on the back of the house. And so I think I want to move those out here so that maybe perhaps we can have someone over for lunch and we can sit outside. We bought a bunch of umbrellas. We're going to put those up. We're thinking about getting a outdoor rug and putting it in front of our garage once we get all of that cleaned and straightened up. And my husband's grill, someone moved the grill out front for him a couple of years ago so that he could get to it. And so our front yard probably is going to be like our main central area. So we might even put a fire pit out here. Don't know. He bought a tent that he can put up to like for some shade out front if he wanted to sit under the tent and not just sit on the porch. We even put up umbrella out near the ramp, at the end of the ramp, so that he could be further out but not be in the sun. So we're just trying to accommodate some of the changes in our lifestyle. So, oh God, I look a hot mess. Hey, it is what it is. It's early morning. Pretty soon my sister and I try to talk to each other in the morning after she drops off the girls at school. And so I'm pretty sure I may have missed her saying, be ready to talk. Or maybe I'm just in time. So yeah, that's the next thing I need to do. Finish with the petunias and water my plants, and then I have to put some mulch down in a tree. And I think that's it except for the seedlings. I may move doing the seedlings to another day because I got to figure out my soil mix, and until the plant food gets here, I feel like when I do those, I really need to put some fertilizer in with them. Some of my potting soil already had like a good mix of stuff in it, and so I will do my first spraying, not spraying, but I will water them with a solution here pretty soon. We also had someone build like a little small, well, it's not small, but they built a line of planters to put flowers in on the edge of our property. It's like a divider between us and the next house, and we put some plants, some perennials in there that are supposed to come back every year, like our hostas. These birds are gonna drive me crazy. Squirrel moment, got distracted. So I know that I want to plant some more things in there with them. My husband wants to put tulips in the fall to come up next year. And then he wants to plant a watermelon plant. So yeah. And then, like I said, I have to get some trellises for my tomatoes, my cucumbers. I'm wondering, can I put trellises for the squash and the zucchini? I have to do some research. So yeah, that's where I am. And I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? If you're into gardening, I'm not an expert, so we can learn together if you're a beginner. And until I see you next time, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.